Hey everybody, welcome back. Review a Day, episode number 197. I'm Leland and thank you guys for joining me. Do me a favor, head over to nitpicket.com and check out episode number 51 of the Nitpicket podcast. We talk about Youth in Revolt, the Michael Cera film, which I'll probably be doing a review of here in a couple days. It's complicated, leap year. And we also count down our top 5 favorite TV shows of the year. It's a nice big long episode. Head over to nitpicket.com. I thank you in advance. Also subscribe on iTunes. The movie review I'm doing for you guys today is The Lovely Bones, and this is the new film from Peter Jackson. You guys know him. You guys love him. He's directed some of my favorite films. Heavenly Creatures with Melanie Linsky and Kate Winslet is a terrific film. Meet the Feebles, one of the craziest movies I've ever seen. Dead Alive, hands down my favorite gore film of all time. You know what? I'm going to come out and say I think Dead Alive is even better than the Evil Dead films. I love Evil Dead 2, Army of Darkness. I love that shit, but Dead Alive is just, it's a masterpiece in my eyes. But Peter Jackson's new film, The Lovely Bones, based on the Alice Sebold novel. It's the story of a young girl named Susie Salmon, played by Saoirse Ronan, the young girl who was in Atonement, City of Amber, a terrific young actress. Plays Susie Salmon. She's going to high school. The young, cute senior boy likes her. They have a date for Saturday, but before she goes to this date, she is brutally raped and murdered by a super creepy guy in the neighborhood. And after she's murdered, she spends this time in the in-between. And it's called the in-between because it's in between the real world and heaven. You see, are you following me? It's pretty heady stuff right now. And all the while she's watching the people in her life, her parents, her sister, all these people kind of mourn her death. And her parents, played by Mark Wahlberg, Rachel Weisz, they start to get kind of involved in the investigation. Mark Wahlberg starts to go off the reins a little bit, and he gets really dedicated and he wants to solve this crime himself. And I'm going to come out and say that I was really surprised how much I hated this movie. I'm surprised how much I hated it because there really is... And there's a lot of craft on display and a lot of talent. I think Peter Jackson knows how to put together a slick movie that from beginning to end, I wasn't bored. And I think the performances across the board are really very nice. Saoirse Ronan is a great young actress. She's clearly got a great career ahead of her. I think so anyways, as long as she doesn't, go Macaulay Culkin on us. I think she'll be great. Mark Wahlberg and Rachel Weisz, I thought were pretty sympathetic parents. I really felt for their pain. And for the first half hour, I was really into this movie. I liked the slice of life feeling to it. I liked the 70s setting. It was interesting, but I think the movie comes undone, and I don't think the movie ends up working because I don't know what this movie is, and I don't think the movie really knows what it wants to be. I don't know if this movie wants to be a kind of What Dreams May Come, that Robin Williams movie about kind of what happens in the afterlife, what we think that is. I don't know if it's that or a kind of crappy suspense thriller. Because if this movie is a suspense thriller, what's that? Why am I putting the emphasis on the wrong syllable? A suspense thriller. I don't know, it's not suspenseful, it's not very thrilling. You know every single second of this movie who the killer is. So on that level, it really doesn't work. On the other level, and I think this level I find kind of weird and disturbing in a weird way. I don't know what this movie is trying to get at. I feel like it's trying to be life-affirming and say that even when young girls are raped and murdered, that there's some good that will come. This young girl who's raped and murdered, she goes into this afterlife, the in-between, and it's fucking awesome. There's like trees everywhere, and there's these mountains, and there's giant beach balls. At one point, she's in a snow toboggan, and she's being pulled along by a pug-nosed puppy. Like, some of the most ridiculous and I'm gonna say pretty stupid shit I've seen in a while. And it's cool. It's like, yeah, why wouldn't little girls want to be raped and murdered? Because that's where they're going. That is fucking awesome. And I feel like it's just kind of a movie that's trying to make us all feel better about the fact that, one, we're all gonna die, and two, that even though awful things happen, good things do come out of it. And I don't think that's true. It might be the fact that I'm a complete atheist and I don't believe in any of that stuff. It's just my personal belief, and I really don't think there's an upside to this story of a 14, 15-year-old girl getting raped and murdered by her creepy-ass neighbor. I don't think there's an upside to that. And not that people don't come out on the other side better people, that they better understand the human experience, that it's a life experience that will forever change them, and maybe they'll go on and change people's lives. Oprah Winfrey is someone who has changed people's lives, and she's been through some really awful stuff. But that's not what this movie is, and I don't buy that. I think that there is some truth in that people can go on and do great things, but this movie did not convey that. It's kind of fucked up and weird when I really thought about it. It was the logic of the movie that got to me. Performances are fine, it's a finely made movie, but I really could not get over the fact that this movie is trying to convince me that, hey, there's an upside to it. Don't worry, don't turn that frown upside down, rape victim. I'm gonna be honest, I give The Lovely Bones a 1.5 out of 5. By the end of this movie, I wanted to scream. If you like this review, make sure to head over to nitpicket.com or dampercast.com. Check out the podcasts I do. I thank you in advance.